So what I want to do now is kind of go through the OCLC scan. And instead of really, I guess, going through each one, what I'm just going to do is kind of talk briefly. And basically what one of your assignments is going to be, actually the discussion questions will be, is how would you update this? I mean, this was done 2003. That was 6 years ago. What in the landscape has changed? I think with the social landscape, internet use has not declined. It continues to go up. Google's domination continues to increase. And with that, it really is pleasing a majority of users. And I know librarians worry about the credibility of the sources on Google as opposed to things that we house online that people could be using as well. But I think one of the things is because it's so much easier to do a Google search than it is to try and track down and know that EBSCO is for articles. That until we can find it, make it an easier way for our clients or customers to get in there and actually use what we have, that's going to become more and more of an issue. Now you've also got the blending of leisure and work has really become the norm. And I'm really kind of surprised in my own life that's true, and other people I know that's really becoming true, is that their work, their entertainment, and everything is starting to flow together. And how can libraries best accommodate that? Especially when you still have a lot of libraries that are asking you not to bring in a cell phone. They restrict gaming, and also social networking sites. So really, this is all about really trying to empower the patron so that they can get what they need and get out, creating that seamless service for them. So they may have to talk to a person. Now, economic, I'm not even going to touch because 6 years ago was a completely different world. Technology, I think some of the major trends, I mean, you've got open source, you've got John Bleiberg out at Darien, Connecticut, who's really going into the open source path. You've got libraries that are doing more folksonomies or allowing the users to actually do some meta tagging in their catalog so that they can find things in a different way than looking through library prescribed constructs or taxonomies. So I think that's really exciting as well. And then you have the whole digital rights management issue, which really loosened up about a year ago when Apple and Overdrive, I mean, they actually dropped the digital rights management stuff off of iPods, so now that you can use those as well with Overdrive, which is really nice, because that was such a hindrance because it really confused the public. It's like, because it was like working with not the most popular device, what everyone had, but with the lesser, and then sometimes not even that. So that's gotten a lot better as well. Now with the research and learning landscape, you've got basically fundraising is really going where library directors are spending most of their time, is trying to raise funds either through government or through private sources, foundations. E-learning is really taken a hold. And I was kind of surprised when I took this course on and started talking to friends and realized how many of them were taking online courses or teaching online courses. So what I've been doing is using that invisible network to try and figure out what's the best way to do this and to create as much interaction as possible with the class. So the library landscape, we could talk. There could be an entire class just on that one piece. One of the things I think is interesting is the collaboration just keeps coming up again and again and again. And with that, I think you're really looking at possibly more globalization. I mean, like here in Phoenix, you've got Phoenix Public Library, which has the Phoenix Digital Library. And so what they've done is allow libraries, even outside of the city, have access to X number of databases for very minimal cost. I think you're going to see more partnerships like that. You've got WorldCat, which is really creating much more of a one library collection. But then you have interlibrary loan, which is quite expensive. I think the average title is about $35 per. So you have some libraries that are now starting to charge for interlibrary loan, other libraries that are looking at other ways around that, like maybe buying a paperback of that title that someone's requesting. And then RFID, I think is interesting because if you look at like the Singapore model where they've really reduced the amount of shelving, I'm sorry, not shelving, but getting the books back on the shelf because they figure the hottest titles out the door that come back will be the more than likely the ones that go out again. So they basically let the customers pick through them and then shelve what's left. Now, the library communities. Library communities. Public libraries tend to focus on a political jurisdiction. So they have defined boundaries. Academic and school communities, not so much. I mean, that's defined by the parent institution. Special libraries really focus on the who or the what provides operating funds. So like I've got a friend who does retro slideshows of Americana. He's got a special collection of slides, and he actually has a librarian who works with him to keep those all in order. So basically, he's got his own set of criteria and things. When you look at a corporate library, that really is defined by that parent company in terms of what they're looking for from that.